It all seems so hard to believe, doesn't it? You see all of these gigantic goals that people seem to achieve. Everyone's talking about their amazing goals online. They started this business. They're making 6 figures, 7 figures. They're on a yacht. They got the Lamborghini. They have 1 million views. All these big goals. These big, hairy, audacious goals. How do people actually reach them? Is it even possible, or are all of these just pipe dreams? That's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. I'm going to give you 3 specific ways you can look at tackling these big, hairy, audacious goals. Things that seem outside of your capabilities right now. Things that seem like mere daydreams, pipe dreams, things that you really want to do but don't feel like you have the capability to do yet. I'm going to walk you through these frameworks today. But before we get to that, I have one teeny tiny favor to ask of you. Please send me your validation so that I can hail it into my nostrils and down to the depths of my soul. Send said validation by subscribing to the YouTube channel. Hit the little notification bell so that you can get brand new videos the moment they come out. All other platforms that are watching this video, please like, share, and let your friends know about the value that this content provides. Okay, we're going to talk about how to reach your big, hairy, audacious goals, your BHAGs, your big dreams. I've accomplished many of these things in my life, goals that I thought were outside of my capabilities. Don't want to mention numbers, but the type of living I've been able to make, the accomplishments I've been able to have, from books to getting millions of people to read my work, millions of people to read my work over the years. It's kind of astounding, and I'm just a normal person, and I have been a normal person who has been able to achieve some of these kind of audacious goals. So let's talk about some important frameworks to help you understand how to do this. The very most important thing you really need to understand about reaching a really big goal that seems outside of your capability, something like, starting a 6-figure business, or, starting a business at all, getting a bunch of followers, getting in great shape, whatever it is, whatever that thing is that you kind of know you want to do, but it's just so far outside of what you think you're capable of. Understand and accept that you are not capable of doing that right now. See, here's the problem that comes into future projection. You think about yourself right now pulling off those goals in the future, but by the time you get there, you're not going to be the current version of yourself. Think about what I just said. Like, you picture your dreams in the future, but you're picturing you right now. You with no momentum, you with no traction, you with no experience, you who feels a little aimless and directionless in life. You're picturing that person trying to accomplish these crazy goals, and of course that person's not going to do it. When I first started my writing career, I didn't look at myself as someone who was going to get millions of readers per year. I didn't look at myself as someone who was going to be a 3-time author. I didn't look at myself as someone who was really going to be able to impact and touch the lives of thousands of people. I didn't see all of that stuff coming. But here's what I did do. I started doing the work, and you take that big aspirational kind of elite level version of yourself and you just put it in the back of your mind. Understand that you will catch up to being that person. If you put in the work now, the universe will catch up to your efforts. I've talked about this several times. You can look in the description below where I'll show you a checklist that helps you find your talents and strengths. Find your strengths, commit to a period of building those strengths, 90 days, 6 months, get some traction, level up, and then if you're persistent, the next thing you know, you've looked up and it's been a couple of years. The real time frame it takes to reach some of these different goals. So just understand, you're not supposed to be the version that's doing it right now. It's going to be future you that is going to accomplish these goals. And you need to understand that it's almost beyond your perception. So don't even worry about it. There's no way to conjure up this version of you into the future. So just let it go. Keep the dreams there, but understand that doing the work in the present is going to lead to outcomes that are unfathomable to you right now. Doing the work in the present is going to lead to outcomes that are unfathomable to you right now. You know, a lot of the things I've achieved in my life, things that I'm very used to now, would blow my flippin' mind 5 years ago. So understand right now that even though you feel doubt, even though you feel worried, scared, you don't know about how to tackle an uncertain future, just understand that if you follow through, there's a version of yourself in the future that is going to like just be used to things that would blow your mind right now. And it's hard to believe, and you won't really ever know until you go through the process. So go through it. The second thing you need to understand is how to deconstruct big goals. How to really look at them for what they are. Break down these goals until it seems reasonable, for you to achieve. So I like to use this example of something like building a 6-figure business, right? So a 6-figure business, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me right now, but I've broken it down before. Like you basically have to make $8,333 a month. Brain fart a little bit. And then I think that equates to something like 40. Actually, you know what? I'll be right back. Quick cut. I'm going to grab my calculator. Okay, I did the math, and considering a normal 40-hour work week, it's roughly $48 an hour. Don't you think that you could build the skill level at something to get to $48 an hour? Don't you think that your innate talent and capability at a human being when stretched out to its maximum potential could be something like $48? Of course you can. Don't get sticker shock, as they call it, and look at $100,000. Hell, many of you are already making that in your employment, but then you look at it from a business perspective and like replacing that income into a job, and you make it seem so difficult. Why? You figured out how to make $100,000 or maybe even more being employed. Why can't you figure out how to do that on your own? What's the huge difference? And if you've never made that amount of money in your life, just break down those components. $48 an hour. I think you're worth $48 an hour. I really do. And breaking it down even further, if you have some sort of product that sells around the clock, all you need to do is make $11 roughly, $12 per hour roughly. Aren't you worth $12? $12 an hour. You put a product out there, you put something out there, $12 an hour, and you could have that 6-figure income. Of course, it's going to take a lot of work. And going back to point one, you are going to have to keep that aspirational, bigger version of you in the back of your mind, but you can still deconstruct things to see how it shakes out. You know, I'm not super materialistic, but I am trying to figure out how to one day get to 7 figures, right? And with 7 figures, that's roughly $83,000 a month. Seems like a lot of money. But $83,000 can be broken down in a lot of different ways. You know, that's 10 clients at $8,300 a month. You know, not necessarily something I would do personally, but I've seen higher numbers in that when it comes to kind of the coaching, consulting space, all different sorts of spaces. You'd be surprised what people would pay, especially if you're working with a business. You know, $8,300 a month might not be a ton for a marketing budget for an entire business who needs help with their marketing. So it's the way that you think. You know, you break that down. You know, what does it take to get to $83,000 a month with a $500 product? How much traffic would you need to get there? A $1,000 product, $1,000 service with employees, with different mechanisms. You start to break it down, and what looks lofty is something that's actually manageable. And again, it's not a real materialistic goal that I'm shooting for, but I am interested in seeing how to get there. And because I've gone through the process of kind of getting to 6, getting the dream that I kind of wanted, and the work it entailed, and the fact that, you know, I kind of transformed myself in the process, I now kind of know how to level up to that next level. And unless I die, it's pretty much a certainty that it's going to happen. So that's what happens over time. You build momentum and you create new normals in your mind. So the more you level up, the more new accomplishments don't seem all that ridiculous to you to aim for. But again, if you're a beginner, you don't want to aim for that right away. Keep it in the back of your mind, deconstruct what it takes to reach those goals, and then go from there. Lastly, This is a huge theme of my channel if you've been following for any length of time. Understand the power of compounding exponential growth, compounding when it comes to your money, compounding when it comes to your skills. If you start to build different skills and stack them on top of each other, you iterate, you get better, your skills will start to jump at a dramatic rate, right? So it's like, it's not linear, you know? I'm talking about the business I have now. Before, when I started all of this, I was making $10 an hour. And not that money is the end all be all, but kind of these numbers and metrics, it's just helpful to illustrate the concept. So you can apply this to other things. It's not just about money, but the growth was exponential. It was like $10 and then traction, and then it went like way higher. So you have to understand that if you put yourself in an area where your skills can compound, you know, online business services, you know, skills that are profitable, things that you can kind of command more over time, or, you know, whatever it is, whether maybe it's, you know, getting in shape, just understand that your growth will reach a very, very, very high kind of trajectory after you hit a tipping point, to where reaching really, really, really big goals eventually just becomes a matter of time and patience. And the problem with most people is that 99.9% of people who watch content online, they're all in the total newbie camp. They haven't really put much time into their goal or their big life path or their dream or whatever they want to call it. You know, they haven't put in the 90 days. Like I always talk about, this 90-day sprint towards your goals. They haven't put in 6 months, a year, 5 years. That's how long I've been in this, 5 years. And, you know, from what I'm told, it takes about a decade to get to true wealth. So I'm at 5 years, freed myself from the shackles of employment. And now there's another 5 to build real wealth. Really, and it's just something that I want to do to continue to have freedom. This is my $5 H&M t-shirt. It ain't about the money. It's about the growth, the progression, the skills, the spiritual journey that self-improvement can really be. So think about these things, all 3 of the things that I've mentioned. The fact that you are not the person who's going to achieve those goals in the future. The fact that you can deconstruct and understand that reaching some of these big, hairy, audacious, crazy goals is just a matter of breaking things down, as cliche as it sounds. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. You've heard these things before. You've heard all of these things before, but the goal of my channel is to really help you embrace these things and understand them at an emotional level and truly embrace them. And, lastly, understanding that exponential growth curve. I hope one day, the channel currently has roughly 4,000 subscribers, almost there. But what I've seen with other channels is, I'll look back and their video will say, oh, hey, just got my 3,000 subscriber. And it'll be like a year later and the channel will have 200,000 subscribers. Exponential growth. This is the way the world works. You want to put yourself in these arenas. So those are 3 quick tips to help you reach your big, hairy, audacious goals. Okay, check out this book. Real Help. It is, an accomplishment of mine that I considered a BHAG, so to speak, and it'll help you reach yours. More importantly, check out the description below. You're going to see a link. It's going to be to a free checklist that is going to teach you how to find your natural talents and strengths and use them to build profitable skills. Check that out in the description below. Lastly, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you can get more videos to continue on the self-improvement journey. Make sure to like the video, leave your 2 cents. I want to hear from you and get to know you. Watch some more videos on this channel, and hopefully together we will get started and continue and never quit on this journey. I will see you on the next video.